pardon me right now, I'm a little bit of a motion roller coaster of a little ball right here because as you guys can tell by the title of this video, it is all about my health journey and my weight loss. And I will be talking about some topics where I do want to put a disclaimer if these may be triggers to anyone. We'll be discussing things about like eating disorders, self-image, as well as relationship with foods and etc. over exercising and all of that. So if these are topics that may be triggering to somebody, you're more than welcome to exit off this video. But to those who want to listen about my weight loss journey and these topics, of course, you're more than welcome to stay and listen. I think we definitely have to go back in time and talk about the number one thing that obviously I've been getting tremendous questions about, and especially, to be honest with you, I get it. I understand it, because if you've been on this YouTube journey with me, you've seen me when I first started, and obviously I look very different physically of where I was and to where I am now. So I know there's a lot of questions, and I know people send me DMs, or even if I put anything kind of related a little bit towards my body, that's kind of the main thing, is how did you lose weight? So to kind of start off and to jump into that topic is, and yes, indeed, I did get weight loss surgery. It was around 5 years ago now, and I know the first thing is going to be like, girl, you kept this in for 5 years. And yes and no, because I think to jump back into time again, I very much so was not ready to talk about that topic, quite frankly, yet. And there's reasons for that. There's a couple of them that I'm feeling comfortable to share online, and then some I'm gonna keep private. But more of it is you guys are gonna be getting, the full rundown of everything, because the last thing I want is to ever feel like I can't be myself on camera or feel like I have to hide something, when I never felt like I was hiding it. I was just felt more like, when you feel ready stuff to talk about it, talk about it. And I just have to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because seriously, whether you vocalize it or not, each and every one of you respected of the fact of like, whether she wants to talk about it or not, hey, we love you, and like, when you're ready, talk about it, girl, and thank you for that. The main surgery that I did get was the gastric sleeve. That surgery drastically, it saved my life. My weight was definitely consistently growing and not stopping. And one, my eating habits weren't the best as well, of course. And secondly, también, like, even trying to have like movement of my body, of like walking or anything, it was a lot. And the weight that I was at, it was just progressively going and skyrocketing. At one time I went to the doctor's office, and the doctor at the time actually recommended that surgery to me a lot younger. And I was like, I don't think I'm ready yet for that. And I was like, thank you, doctor. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your concerns. But I think he was offering me that surgery at a very young age. And I was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that quite yet. And I had told him, let me try on my own first. Let me see how much I could do on my own. Fast forward like 2 years later, my weight was still progressively growing. I remember I went in for another checkup, and the doctor had told me like, sweetie, you are basically very much so borderline, and the weight that you're at and everything, I would not be surprised if you don't see like your 30s or like even like your early 40s. And he told me like, you're at a point kind of where your weight in that sense would kind of, even if you wanted to say hypothetically, have kids in the future, you weren't highly gonna be possibly even at those stages ever. So of course, hearing that at a young age, and I was like, what? I was like, that is something I always dreamed of, was to become a mom and, and be a mother to my kids in the future. And obviously hearing those words, it shattered my heart. And I was like, how? And I asked the doctor, what can I do to help myself to be like, just healthy in that sense of being able to walk across my street or like in my block and not feel like I'm gasping for air, or walking around just, theme parks and stuff and not feeling like I could only go for like 2 to 3 hours because I physically can't anymore, So the doctor did tell me right there, that offer of the gastric sleeve is still available to you if you would like that. And so that is when I took the like executive decision to basically sign up and take the classes and educate myself. But it was basically a whole year of basically training, of letting what's going to happen to your body physically, what they're going to be doing to you in that surgery and everything of that sort. So they did an amazing job of basically letting me know what's going to be happening. And right here is where I completely understand, because I know regardless whether it was one asking me a question directly, like face to face, or, you know, people asking me through a screen of like, what did you do to lose weight? Like, tell us all your secrets and all of that stuff. Like, to me, my mentality was, one, it's not a secret. And two, obviously I just didn't feel comfortable at that state talking about it, just quite frankly. And I know that I'm actually very happy that I waited to talk about it till now, because I feel at a state of mind at peace. And I know that I didn't do this surgery because I wanted to be the societal whatever image. No, mine was truly, I needed somewhat of a help to get my life going in a way where physically I'm able to like do things with my kids in the future and do all of that stuff. I definitely had a couple of post-ops after where I had to meet with my doctor. It's normally only for like that one first year, and we would do basically just check-ins, see how I'm doing, if my wounds are, basically if the incisions were, you know, safely healing and everything of that sort. So as of now, I don't really meet with my doctor in regards to my gastric sleeve as much. But if anything, it's a little bit more just so of like physical checkups and anything of that sort. But basically, for sure, the gastric sleeve was definitely something that honestly just kind of helped me get started in a sense of my fitness journey, because during the actual surgery itself, I think within that year span, I want to say I probably lost around 60 pounds, 70 pounds alone with the surgery. And then let's fast forward a little bit into 2020 of the pandemic. And in the year of 2020, obviously that is when the shutdown, the pandemic happened, and everything was basically closed, and we were all just home. And of course, you know, during this time of the shutdowns and everything, again, because I did get the surgery 5 years ago, so this was, I want to say 2018. It was December of 2018, the very end of it. So basically it will be 6 years this December. So basically fast forward those 2 years, that's when we were in the pandemic now. Basically during the pandemic, my family and I transformed our garage basically into like a mini little gym. Built like that cage thing where it has like kind of like the Smith machine type of thing, but it's just the barbell itself. The pandemic is really kind of what ended up being my actual begin of my own weight loss journey. During that time is when I fell in love with, very much so, with the gym. And my sister honestly tremendously guided me through everything. And she definitely just sparked something in me where like I look up to my sister alone so much. And like when I actually started, I guess, loving like moving my body, I fell in love with it. And I was like, wait, this is actually fun and I actually enjoy it. And is when I actually started kind of like somewhat creating like, you know, like, oh, I work out at my house, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And there was really nothing else to do. And it was the pandemic again. So I was in somewhat way, you know, I was bored, and I was like, okay, well, what can I do to kind of, you know, make me feel like I was doing something. And I was doing online school during that time too. So like I would clock in for school and then clock out from school, go to the gym downstairs, and then do like little things like that. And I felt like slowly but surely, I just saw myself like being like waking up in the morning and being like, I'm gonna go for my morning walk or whatever. And I just loved it. And like, it was just so much fun and I enjoyed it. And during that time and that aspect, I really felt like, you know, let me see how much I could teach myself of this. And my sister helped me tremendously. And not only that, it's kind of to like, when this stuff slowly started opening back up and I kind of was introduced to like the actual gym, dude, I was terrified. I can't even lie to you. Like, I remember when I went in the first time to the actual like 24 hours and I was just like, these are a lot of machines, like what am I doing? Because it was scary and I was just like, dude, this is totally different from my at-home gym. Like, I was so comfortable with my at-home gym versus my home gym that I was just like, I still gotta learn. So during that time, my sister, thankfully too, like kind of showed me along the way of like, this is what this machine does, this is what this does, and X, Y, and Z. So, and then that's when I kind of slowly started implementing my own workout routines, and I started kind of teaching myself like, okay, I could do this and this and this. And then I was following some like workout plan as well that was honestly really great because it kind of showed like a visual like también of like, this is what this machine does, this is what this machine does. And that's kind of how I started, at least within that aspect. So around that time, again, my main focus was obviously, since I was losing weight, I also having a lot of excess skin. So my main mentality going into the gym was, I'm trying my best to just have fun with it, but also build some muscle. And that is when I fell in love with weightlifting, and weightlifting legit makes me feel like a bad A. And I love it. Like, lifting weights has been something that like I saw definitely just like a little bit of like a lot of self-confidence in that. And I loved seeing myself be like, you know what, like I could lift 2 plates on hip thruster on each side and like give it to me. So just little things like that. And I was realizing like, Steph, like you're strong, like you don't underestimate yourself, because that is something that like I did all the time. And I would always in general just underestimate myself. And now as I'm saying this out loud, it makes me want to just hug younger Steph, because like my weight in general has always, since I was a kid, it's just always been escalating and escalating. And again, I am very much so grateful for that surgery, because again, I know everyone's weight loss journey is different, and I completely understand. And I get where people may look at, because I did this in a different light or a different aspect, and I understand. I get it. There's no reason for me to be upset at that, because again, I think I get it, because as of me being a viewer as well, like I watch my favorite content creators, and I understand that sometimes some people are not ready to talk about things, but that's just me, you know, like, but I know there's people out there who won't view it that way. And I understand. I'm not upset. There's no point for me to be upset. You get me? And I think this is where the next little topic of present Stephanie is definitely, I would definitely like to call this season of my life of self-discovery and giving myself grace, because let me just tell you, definitely I didn't realize what harm I was doing more to myself than anything else. So this is definitely the part where I am struggling, and I still am. This video alone is not to tell you this is what to do to lose weight, or this is what, you know, X, Y, and Z, because again, everyone's weight loss journey is different. Everyone's, like, regardless, I could be 140 and there could be someone else who is 140 as well, but we look completely different. Why? Because comparison is literally the thief of joy. If one keeps comparing themselves to others, that is something that I had to learn the hard way, because not only was I comparing myself, but I was legit my own worst enemy. And it is still one of the most heartbreaking things that I had to realize, was that what I was doing to my body, I did not think I was gonna cry, I'm sorry, was not good. I'm very much so grateful for God. He's been helping me a lot through this, and making sure that like whatever I'm feeling, it's okay to talk about, because de chiquita, I would hold stuff in, guys, and it's not okay for me to do that, because that's just me. That's my way of, I guess, grieving, but I know that's not good. So this is how I knew it was time for me to talk about this, was when I cried out to my sister and I said, I need help. Body dysmorphia is not fun, and it sucks. And sometimes, you know, I would look in the mirror and still envision the old Steph that was there. And gosh, I love, I love old Steph, and I will forever have so much love for that Stephanie. And not that she's not here no more, because obviously I still am, but I have a lot of love for her, because in those times where, you know, when I was at my heaviest, that Steph had the world of confidence, and I look up to that so much. And I wish, for real, I know I keep saying this, but like I wish I could give that Steph a hug. What I'm experiencing right now is basically trying to relearn how to build a healthy relationship with food as well, because my relationship with food has defaulted completely and low. was to a point where my relationship with food, like, I would probably only eat very low. Obviously alone, my surgery before didn't even really allow me, and still to this day, really eat too much. So imagínate, me not even being able to eat enough already, and then me minimizing it more. I felt so fatigued. I felt like I was gonna pass out left and right. And my relationship with my food is getting a lot better, and I think it's because por fin, de verdad, like, my mentality went like this when I saw myself realizing that what I was doing to my body was hurting God. This is God's temple, and I don't want to hurt it, and I don't want to harm it. If God gave me a body to be able to nourish and to be able to take care of, and I'm harming it, like, I'm sorry. That's what hurt me. And I think that is when my mentality really shifted, because I was like, what are you doing, Steph? Because obviously it's not healthy, and I know slowly but surely, thankfully, I have been able to eat a little bit more now and not be so restrictive, because under eating is not good. And I know it's something that it's not gonna just happen overnight and be like, I'm gonna be able to do this and this again. No, like, it's definitely a journey. And I don't want you guys to worry, like, I'm okay. And I don't want no one to ever feel what I felt of self-love of just it being low like this. Like, if anything, I would give you guys the biggest hug right now and be like, I'm sorry that if you even felt I was disconnected from you guys, because, and I want to say maybe that is even, quite frankly, a big part of why I took such a gap away from YouTube, because I didn't know, like, I didn't want to disappoint anyone, but I knew at the same time that, Steph, you needed to switch your mentality, because you didn't do anything wrong. Took your health into your considerations, knowing that it was something that you needed to do to help you start your own life of the future. I'm 25 now, I'm about to be 26, so obviously my mentality is a lot different from when I first had it. If in any certain way, I want to say I'm sorry if I have felt distant from you guys, because that's the last thing I ever freaking want, is to feel distant from you guys. Like, I have nothing but, like, the utmost love for you, and just even me talking like this to you guys, I already feel like connected more, because now that I feel like I'm building a healthy relationship with my food and going to the gym when it feels like where I was first learning, it almost felt like you have to go to the gym, because if you don't, you're gonna gain everything back. And now my mentality is like, if you go to the gym because you want to go and you want to move your body and have a little bit of movement or whatever, go for you. Don't go because you stepped on the scale and it went up. Don't go because of that, because I would do consistent weigh-ins, and that's not good either. My mentality now is, if you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you want to eat a burger, eat a burger. But don't feel because you eat something of X, Y, and Z that's not considered healthy that you have to over-exercise yourself either. Like, you're human, stuff. Like, and I think this video is not only for you guys, but I think it's also for me. And then times where I feel like I need to hear myself talk to myself and be like, look at what you're saying and take your own words into considerations. These next seasons in my life, and even this current one right now, embracing change. I think it's okay for me to realize that, Steph, you are not the same girl anymore that you were 5 years ago. Want to know why? Because you are maturing into someone beautifully who God has called you to be. And that is what I had to really learn. And I know that my walk with God and my relationship with the Lord is something that, like, I tremendously value and I cherish a lot. If it wasn't for him, gosh, I have a lot of love for God, and it was again just like a whole thing that I felt like I needed to learn. If you have been on this journey with me from the beginning, like, that means whatever age you guys started, you guys are 6 years later, you guys are around my age probably as well, or a little bit younger. But, like, that's the crazy part of it, is that I'm realizing it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to break out of your shell and if anything, this makes me more excited because I want to bring you guys along with me for like gym content and just like being like, guys, come to a leg day with me, because still to this day, like I'm telling you, I love lifting weights and I want to bring you guys along with me. Just for real, pick up the camera and it just be me and you guys, because I miss that, and I miss just simply filming little come thrifting with me's and literally like bringing you guys along for my last year of college. And that is what excites me, because you guys have legit been on this journey with me for so long. How I just told you, like, I'm embracing change and change isn't bad. I just, again, want to say thank you guys so much just for even considering of listening to this video and just hearing what I had to say. And with all love and respect, just thank you guys. Thank you for everything you've given me in my life. It's been a complete honor and a blessing, and I legit am very grateful for you guys, and I'm very happy that like I got to sit here and talk to you guys, because I've been wanting to film this for a long time. Trust me, a very long time. So but I promise I'm okay, and that I'm just taking it a day at a time. And I trust God completely, and I know he's never and will never leave my side. So I will see you guys next week for a whole new video, and hopefully if you guys want to see anything different or something along the lines of this, just let me know, guys. And I love you with all my heart, for real. I love you guys with all my heart.